Hi everyone! I am here today to share with you Captivation secret number 3. So I will give you guys a few minutes to hop on. When you hop on, say hello so I can say hi to you. Let me see, who is here? And I actually believe I fixed my desktop live problem, so it's not a problem anymore. Alrighty, who's here? Say hello. We're going to be talking about leveraging your backstory today. So I see a couple people on. Make sure you pop on, say hello. Put in the comments here. Alrighty, let's see. Give you guys a minute or two to pop on before I start going. All right, who's here? Say hello, hello, hello. And it is nice and sunny here in Philadelphia. It is cold. Lots of ice all over the place, but sunny, and it's almost 7 o'clock. So that is something to be thankful for. So who is here? I see you guys popping on. Just go ahead and comment below that you're here so I can say hi, and I'm going to get started in just a minute with how to leverage your backstory to really stand out. So over the last couple of days, I've been talking about how you can stand out, how you really have to stand out in this crowded marketplace, and how to really eliminate your competition by being not only the expert, but being the person that your tribe, your true fans really fall in love with, and they just want to work with you. They want to hand you money. Yesterday we talked about a visualization about people just running to you with their credit card. So that is how you want your people to be. And the way to do that is to really show up as yourself, show up as your authentic self, and also leverage your backstory, which is Captivation secret number 3, which is exactly what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do today. It's also exactly what I did to really leverage credibility, authenticity, vulnerability, and my story, my struggles to create a business that is thriving. This really all comes down to relationships. Everything we do in business comes down to relationships. It comes down to whether somebody likes you or not. A lot of people may think, oh, if I would just work with the best coaches, or if I get this degree or I get this certification, it's going to mean more clients for me. And that really isn't true. It really comes down to who you are authentically and the fact that you can actually add value to your people's lives. So if you can add value to somebody's life, then you are in the right place, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a way that can create a beautiful business for you, a business that really supports the lifestyle that you want to live. So how many of you know my story? Jeannie's here. She said, glad I caught you live. Awesome. How many of you have a story, And I want you to think about it. This could be anything. A lot of times when we talk about leveraging story, people think, oh, I don't have a rags to riches story, or I don't have anything that really happened to me that was bad. And the reality is, you don't need to. It doesn't need to be rags to riches. It doesn't need to be a bad story. It doesn't need to be trauma. It doesn't need to be anything like that. But you have a story. So if you feel like you have a story, then it's going to be super easy for you to leverage that into your business, into your branding, into how you connect with people. If you don't, I challenge you to think about some of the life-changing moments in your life. They could be success in relationships. It could be success in, something that you've accomplished. It doesn't have to be a trauma or a rags to riches story in order to be really effective with people. Maybe you're just an amazing leader. Maybe you're an amazing listener. Maybe you have your own story of, how you dealt with a relationship or how you grew a different business. So we all have something that we can leverage to really create buzz around our own personal brand. For me, I'll share a little bit of my story. For those of you who don't know me or haven't heard my story, I'll share a little bit about that and how I was able to really leverage that to create this business that I now have. So if you're here and you're popping on, say hello. I see a bunch of people popping on and off. Not sure if that is just this Facebook Live from desktop, but I'm going to keep going anyway. So for my story, I am not the type of person, I was not the type of person who actually was seeking to become an entrepreneur. I didn't want to leave my 9 to 5. I loved my 9 to 5. It was amazing. I was working for a casino. I was doing all their marketing and social media. I was basically getting paid for 40 hours a week, a pretty good salary to play on Facebook all day, essentially. And we had events at the casino. We had celebrities that would come to the casino, and I would cover those events. I would cover the stories. We even had a mail review that came in about once a month, and I would be there for that. So I actually loved my job. I wasn't somebody that was just, hated my job and trying to get out. But what happened was I actually got laid off. For those of you that are familiar with casinos at all, when the casino revenues go down, they do these major layoffs where they're laying off 20, 30, even 100 people at a time. So I got laid off. And at that point, I had been home with my son. My son was about 2.5 years old, about 2 years and 3 months old. And I just got really pissed. And I don't know what it was inside me, but I got mad that I basically got let go of a job that I actually really liked. And it was my highest paying job at the time. So I decided at that point that no more. Like, I wasn't going to let someone else dictate whether I would have a paycheck, how much money I was going to make, if I would have a job or not. So that's how my entrepreneur journey started. So it started a little bit rough, right? Because I had the layoff. I had a lot of personal things happen to me in that time. I, was married at the time, but within a year I was divorced, became a single mom like that, had to move back in with my parents because, the financial situation with me and my husband, when we got divorced, it just became really bad. So I had all those things kind of working against me, but I pushed through because I knew I had a skill. I knew that I was really great at what I did. I was getting paid for it. I was doing it for large corporations and companies. So that's what I decided to leverage when I started my business. So you see how something that is seemingly, a bad thing, right, actually turned out to be really, really awesome. So I'm not going to go into the rest of the story because it's kind of long. You guys can read that in the Captivate handbook or just on my About page. But the point that I really want to make here is that I was able to use that and leverage that when I went out on social media and I was trying to create this personal brand, really just wanting people to know who I was, like me, trust me, see me as somebody who they wanted to work with, who had expertise, who had experience. So I used all of that stuff. So that's really what you guys have to think about when you're putting yourself out there as a personal brand, is why would somebody listen to you? And it's not because of your certifications and programs you took or coaches that you've worked with. It is because of your experience and your expertise. So what can you pull from your experiences and your expertise and tie them together to create a business that is really all about you? And it's all, it's very authentic, right? A lot of times too, I see copycats or people that see, oh, so-and-so did this, so I'm going to do that too. And that does not work. So you really have to think about your stories, your experiences, the things that you've accomplished, and put those together as part of your personal brand. Is anybody here? Say hello. I see you guys on, but I'm not seeing anybody say hello. So I'm not sure if I'm just not getting comments or what. But if I see the comments later, I will make sure that I comment on them. So here is the captivation secret number 3. It's really about leveraging that backstory. So I want you guys to think about it. If you're here, comment. Do you have a story? Do you have a story that you're able to use? Are you stuck with how to leverage that story? Or do you feel like you don't have a story? A lot of people think that they don't have a story when they actually do. Jeannie says, love hearing your story. Jim says, great message. Brooke, hey, Brooke, how are you? So that is the secret number 3, because with all the competition, with all the people out there doing the same things as we are, that is how you're going to separate yourself. That is how people are going to really like you and trust me. I can't tell you how many people have come to me and just said, you know what? I just really resonate with your story. Or they'll say, your story is exactly like mine. And I know that you understand me because you've been in my shoes. And that's really what this coaching and expert space is about. It's about finding people that resonate with you. It's about finding people that connect with you on a different level. And it's not just about the program or the tactics, but it's like, who do I really want in my space? Who do I want to be connected with? Who do I want, whose vibe do I want like in my aura, right? So that is how, I mean, I've seen people also that they have maybe all the credentials, everything's checked off, every box is checked off, everything's amazing, right? But they're dry, they have no personality, they have no story, there's no substance there. So their businesses don't thrive because it's just all about the tactics. It's very transactional, very dry. So you've got to bring in that authenticity, that vulnerability, and share your story. So I want to talk a little bit about when to share the story, because I see sometimes people will do this wrong. There is a wrong way to do this, and there is a right way to do it. So what I see sometimes people do is they may be in the story, or they may be in the struggle right now, and you don't actually want to share that right now. So if you're a business coach and you are broke AF, those people that know what AF mean, you know what I'm talking about, don't talk about that. That is not what you want to share with people, because then people are going to associate you with that. So what you want to do is you want to overcome. You want to think about the stories and the experiences that you've already overcome, the things that you've already mastered. And that's the story that you want to tell. That's the journey that you want to tell. So if you're still in it, I do not recommend sharing just yet. It's something that you could possibly use later. But if you're still in the mess, if you're still in the struggle, you want to really just, and it's not that you're, being secretive or anything like that, but you just want to portray that you are somebody that can be trusted and liked. So Holly says, how did you get everything on your wall? I'm fast, girl. I see what I want and I make shit happen. That's just me. And that's the other thing too, is if you don't have like a specific story, right? So I have this story about, my layoff and my divorce, becoming a single mom and all that stuff. Maybe you don't have that story, but maybe you have just a freaking amazing skill. Maybe you just have like a framework or something that you came up with that is just amazing. Like that's another thing that you can share. Like I'm saying, it doesn't have to necessarily be a rags to riches or a struggle type story in order to have an impact on people. So also think about maybe some of the accomplishments that you've had. Maybe you've done some sort of charity. For me, another thing that I always forget, but I like to use in my marketing now is that I used to actually own another business, and I forget because I'll start to say, oh, I started my entrepreneur journey 4 years ago, but the reality is I've been an entrepreneur for a really long time. Me and my ex-husband had a clothing line. It was an international clothing line. I got it into about 30 stores across the nation and in other countries, in Germany, in Canada, in Spain, all over the place. We had our clothes being worn by celebrities. They were featured on reality shows. So I had all that, but for some reason, like I have this block of like, when I started my journey. But so that's another story that I can share, and that story actually helps my credibility and my expertise, because it shows that I've grown another business and I've marketed another business, and I have experience with branding and personal branding. So Brooke says, love that tip, share after you've overcome. Yes, exactly. And you know what, sometimes it's okay if it's not something that's like horrible and you really just want to share with your audience. People love that as well. People love the vulnerability. So I don't know how many of you, but there's a couple hundred of you that were in my extreme manifestation experience, and that was all about manifesting and my journaling and all of that stuff that I did. And I had went in there, and this was a few months ago, went in the group and I did a live stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't been journaling, and I'm teaching you guys that you have to journal every day, but I haven't been journaling because of this, and it was good, and people really resonated with that because I'm human, right? People don't like perfection. They like humans. They like people. They like to see people that have overcome something or have made a mistake and have gotten back up. We don't want to see perfection, right? Anyway, so back to the story, I also went in and said, the reason why I haven't been journaling is because I have been having problems with my boyfriend. And so, for me, it was a moment of real vulnerability, but it really helped also to connect with those people and the people who may have also been going through something similar. maybe feeling like I had too much life going on that I can't do the journaling or I can't do the exercises. So yeah, so there's just so many little things that you can take your experiences, any kind of expertise that you have, any kind of successes that you've had, and use that. Use that in your marketing. Use that in your Facebook post. Use that in your Instagram. Use that in your email marketing. I mean, I see night and day because I am a part of another kind of circle that is more very, manly, masculine, digital marketing, internet marketing type of circles. And then I have, obviously, the coaching and the heart-centered entrepreneurs, the female entrepreneurs. It is night and day. It is night and day between like what we share and how we share our things and how vulnerable we are, and just being cut and dry with like, this is what you do, this is how you do it, here are the tactics. You can obviously build a business that way, but you're not going to build a tribe of people that fall in love with you. You're not going to be able to captivate your audience and hold on to them that way, because as soon as the next person comes around or the next thing comes around, they are going to jump ship, right? So what I'm sharing with you with these online captivation secrets and what I'm sharing with you in the guide that's there with the link above is you've got to have that. Like, you've got to have that, basically that it factor, that X factor, that thing that people are just going to fall in love with you, want to hand you their money, love handing you their money, and continue to buy from you over and over and over again. So that is why I'm sharing these captivation secrets with you, because I know that it's more than just about strategy. It's more than just about the tactics, and it is really about the mindset. It's about who you are. It is about who you represent and the entrepreneur that you are portraying. Jeannie says the extreme manifestation experience was wonderful. It was amazing. I'm actually thinking about doing it again because it was, it's just, again, another thing that I created from my experiences, right? So, obviously I do business and marketing and social media, and I've had personal experiences with how I've used manifesting in my life to really create the lifestyle that I want, get the house that I want, the car that I want, the man that I want. And so after I've experienced that for a year, I actually had been experimenting and doing all this stuff and just making sure that like this shit actually works. And then I was able to use that and create a program and be able to share that with a couple hundred other people who are now using that in their daily life. So there's just so many things that you can do, and it really, really, really is pertinent that you leverage that backstory, that you leverage the things that you have done and the person that you are to stand out online. So I'm going to hop off. I like to keep my live streams short and sweet. We're about 18 minutes. So I really hope that you guys got a lot out of this. If you're watching the replay, I want you to post in the comments below, what's your story? Do you have a story? Do you feel like you don't have a story? And also, I want you to just think about, the people that you really resonate with, the people that you admire, the people that you follow online. I guarantee you there's something about their story or their personality or who they are or how they represent that you feel really connected with. So I will be back tomorrow with online captivation secret number 4. If you want all 9 and you have not downloaded the handbook yet, the link is right here, somewhere around here, up, down, sideways, I don't know, but it's somewhere with this live stream. So go ahead and download that because there is a lot of good stuff in there. So anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.